How's it going, everybody? It's Nick back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about exactly how are you going to build your government contracting list? How are you going to identify the buyers that are purchasing exactly what you do so we can start building lead lists to engage in outbound sales of the government? Because don't think the government is any different than any form of sales. We're going to have two forms of sales in the government. One is going to be inbound, the second is going to be outbound. And when it comes to outbound sales with the government, we have to identify the people that are buying what we do. So if you're new to this channel, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. Let's hop in. If you really want to maximize your revenue, we have to start with identifying the contracting officers that buy what you do. And just like in any sales, the sales start with the ability of what you can control. Inbound sales, you're completely dependent on people coming to you for you to gain business. That's not the right way to go. The reason all this information is public and sorted out is so you as the vendor can go in and find exactly when the government is buying exactly what you sell. So the first thing we need to look at are the type of contracts. So in this case, we're essentially going to have two different types of contracts. We're going to have active opportunities, and then we're going to have non-active opportunities. Both are going to give us all the contact information that we need on the contracts. So we just need to identify what contracts we want to go after. And when we find them, let's save them and set them to the side so that way we can pull the contracting officer information. Now, on a lot of contracts, it's not just going to be one point of contact. We're also going to have the KO, the primary point of contact, the contracting officer. A lot of the times you're going to have a secondary contracting officer. Usually it's going to be an end user, program manager, direct KO that is secondary to the primary contracting officer that we need to get in contact. And then also the small business office, every federal agency has one. So let's make sure that we're getting all the points of contacts for the contract that we need. What we're looking to get is emails, phone number, and what we call reference points, which can be a open contract or solicitation or an opportunity that we felt was a good fit for exactly what we're trying to go after. And we need to make sure that if we are targeting any active opportunities, that we understand that the contract deadline is not always going to be the deadline for communication. A lot of the times, if it's an active contract, there's going to be a closing date for the contract, but then there's going to be a time frame where you can ask questions. And that time frame is usually a lot quicker than the actual closing deadline of that contract. So make sure that whether it's an open opportunity or past opportunity, what we're looking to get is the contact information. Now, to gather this data, there's a few different websites that we can use. A website that I want to get you guys aware of that is no longer with us anymore, which is FPDS. And a lot of websites still have FPDS.gov as a listed site to go and find contracts. And a lot of the questions that I get asked are, what happened to FPDS? The government simply closed it down and transferred all the information over to SAM. So really the two websites that we want to use are going to be SAM.gov or USAspending.gov. So we're going to pull a few examples of some contracts and show you guys exactly how we're going to pull the contracting officer information. Now, it's not just about identifying them. It's what are we identifying them for? The number one thing we're trying to do is build relationships. We need to build the relationships, get in front of the right opportunities, make sure that we're having the right reference points. And a reference point could be a contract that was older that we are referencing. It could be an open opportunity that we're referencing. We always need to have reference points. You don't want to just send out a generic email to a government buyer. Make sure that we always have our reference points. And this allows the government to award us contracts or keep us in the loop of contracts that could be coming up. The government also can award contracts done through what's called a simplified acquisition purchase, which are contracts that are under $350,000, which the government, if you are a small business, which I'm assuming most of you guys are that are watching this, you guys can go in and target the government based off of an SAP contract where they can do what's called a sole source method, where they can sole source a contract directly to you. And a sole source contract is a contract that is no competition. So the government identified you and said, hey, we are sole sourcing this award directly to you. Now, SAPs can only go up to $350,000. So if you're in a marketplace that does exceed that amount, just keep that in mind that simplified acquisition procedures typically can only be under $350,000. But most companies are going to be open to taking those type of contracts. So don't run away from smaller contracts. Actually run to them, because those are the contracts that the government is more than likely to give you. And if you're familiar with the FAR Part requirements, contracts over that size also require what's called a FAR Part 15, which just make contracts a little bit more technical in the actual response. So SAP contracts are not only smaller, but they're typically easier to bid on as well. So when we're targeting government buyers, we need to get in front of them and let them know exactly who we are and what we do, so we can get insight on up and coming contracts. We can position ourselves for contracts prior to them getting there. We can get contracts directly from the government that may not require a competitive process like being posted on SAM.gov and having a bunch of companies bid on it. So there's a lot of benefits to reaching out to the government, but if they do not know who you are, they can't buy what you do. And a lot of the times in the government, it's not about who has the best product, it's about who has the best system. So always make sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's and have a direct game plan once we identify the buyers that we need to reach out to. Alrighty, so these are the two websites. I have pretty deep tutorials on this channel that dive into both of these, but today we're going to be using USA Spending and SAM.gov to directly contact the contracting officers that are part of these contracts. So if you're not familiar with USA Spending, USAspending.gov is a platform that tracks all the federal awards that have been awarded. So this isn't going to give you access to up and coming contracts. This is essentially a history of your marketplace that has already been awarded. And there's going to be a bunch of filters on the left that you can use to extract this data down to exactly what your preferred filters are. What today we're going to be using is the keyword roofing, and we're just going to be looking at contracts from 2026. So what we're going to do here is just go into the filter by keyword. And what I like to do is go to using a keyword and then going into the NAICS code section and making sure that we are putting in a NAICS code. Sometimes certain industries, it's not always the best for a NAICS code. Sometimes it's just better to use a keyword. But for an example like roofing, since they do have a direct NAICS code that directly aligns with them, it's not the worst thing in the world. So what we're going to do here is do roofing and then 2026 and then hit submit. And so what we're going to see here are all the contracts. Now, when you pull this spending on USAspending.gov, it's going to start off with the highest contracts. So don't get intimidated. You're going to see sometimes very large contracts, specifically if you're in like an IT industry or general construction. You're going to see pretty large contracts. What I like to do is just go down to the search bar here, scroll all the way over till you start seeing the dates. And what we're going to see are two dates here. It's going to give us contracts, the start dates, and then the closing dates. So what we're going to do is start all the way up at the top and just hit the bottom arrow. And this is going to give you all the most recent contracts. So these are the contracts awarded in order to date. So once we find a contract that we want to go after, we can click on that contract, for example, AVET Roofing. What we want to do is click on this award ID number. And this is going to give us insight on the actual contract itself. So we're going to see that this was awarded about 7 days ago. This is a replace roofs on these specific buildings. This is a contract directly through the VA. So what we're going to do here is take this award ID number and we're going to copy it and we're going to bring it to SAM.gov. And all we need to do is just go to the home bar on SAM, just paste that award ID, and you're going to see the contract pop up. Now, what we need to do is click on this award ID on SAM.gov and just simply scroll to the bottom. It's always going to be the same on every SAM record that you look at. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it's going to give us the contracting officer. Now, be careful with this because a lot of the time on these contracts, you'll see, for example, there is a prepared user, there is an approved user, and then there's also a last modified user. This is a contract that's already been awarded but has had multiple modifications. What we also want to make sure is that it's the same contracting officer. If it's not, like I mentioned before, sometimes there could be 2 to 3 different contracting officers assigned to one specific contract, which is great for you. Those are 3 contacts with one agency that you can now put to your contracting list because they all could be handling different things. So we want to make sure that we get our information to all 3 of them. So that's how we can pull it up on SAM. And as long as the record is publicated, we can pull it, and all you need to do is grab the contracting or the contract ID, plug that into SAM, and grab the contracting officer's information. And you're going to see here, just in roofing contracts, there's over 648 contracts here. So that is potentially 648 leads at least. There again could be multiple contracting officers attached to this. Even if 1/3 of the awards had more than one contracting officer, we're still talking close to 800-900 awards. So very good information to pull. And again, super simple. You can pull 100 leads in 20 minutes if you wanted to. Now for SAM.gov, SAM.gov is pretty similar, but what it's also going to give us is up and coming opportunities. And that's a thing that USA Spending doesn't provide us. So obviously we're looking at contracts, we're wanting to stay active and bid on contracts, so we need to use both websites. And when we're going on SAM.gov, you can do this a few different ways. What we want to do is make sure we are on the search section, and then I like to click just contracting. Now you're going to see here it's going to have contract opportunities, contract awards, subcontract reports, and subcontracting plan reports. So if we're looking for direct opportunities, we just need to click on opportunities and hit roofing. And it's going to have all the contracts here. So you'll see, for example, this contract was published yesterday. We can click on the contract. This is with the Department of Interior. And what we're going to do is scroll down all the way to the bottom, and it's going to give us the contact information for this specific contractor. It also gives us the phone number as well. So every SAM account will have a contracting officer tied to it. Sometimes the emails can be a little tricky. For example, these ones have been just for full name, first and last. Sometimes it could be first initial, last name. Sometimes it could be first name, last initial. Sometimes it can just be the initials. So if you ever do struggle where an agency is making it a little bit harder to find it, typically the method I like to use is just strictly Google that email and then attach the agency name. So put NW at Air Force at, and then just put in Department of the Air Force, DOD, in Google. A lot of times you'll find it. Now, the last strategy that I think is super underrated, which is adding your contracting officers on LinkedIn. I grew my LinkedIn to close to about 1,500 connections now, and about 300 of them are contracting officers. And all I did was just simply send a connection button. So when you're finding out a contract, take it an additional step. Most of the contracting officers probably have a LinkedIn account. And in any form of sales, the better you know your customer, the better it is to sell. So make sure that you're taking that initial step, and one, just growing your profile in general. I think market visibility is so important, especially in the government. You want to make yourself as accessible as possible, but also while doing that, let's make sure that the audience and customer that we're trying to get to, we can always make sure that we are adding them on every single platform that we're on. So again, how you do this is very simple. We'll click on a contract here, and what we're going to do is just go down and grab the name of the person. Just copy and paste this, go right to LinkedIn, and boom, there he is. And we just hit connect with Mr. Ma Winston. And that is that easy. And again, I can't stress enough how important it is to maximize your visibility with the government and make sure your information is stellar across the board. You have good websites, good capability statements. And we're going to be creating videos on exactly what you can do, say, and send when we're reaching out to the government, and just better outbound sales tactics. Today, we just wanted to focus on pulling that information with the government. So I hope you guys like this video. If you have any comments, questions, please feel free to leave them below, and make sure you subscribe. Until next time.